If you would have told me a year or two ago that I would be almost 60 and creating a YouTube channel for praying for 7 Korean men and their fans, I probably would have thought that you were crazy, but that's exactly what happened. And I think I wouldn't have been able to put myself out there like that if it weren't for getting to know BTS and who they are. So, how'd this all happen? Well, I'll share that with you today. So, I'm Allison, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story. First of all, what did I know about BTS? Well, not much. My daughter, when she was growing up in the 2018, 2019 time, would tell me about BTS, and I wouldn't necessarily really listen to her so much, but when I was dyeing her hair, we would play a game, and I would play a song for when I was a kid, and then she would play some of her music, and most of it at this point in time was BTS. And to be honest, I wasn't really listening to it. I was just trying to connect with my daughter. So, what did I think about K-pop back then? Well, honestly, because of my daughter, my husband and I really didn't know anything about K-pop, and mostly him, but I would kind of chime in and we would just tease her about liking boys with makeup and they're so cute. But I really didn't know anything about it. Just enough to buy her gifts for Christmas and her birthday. That was about it. Did I understand why people invested so much in BTS? No, not really. It's just someone who my daughter loved. That was about it. So, what made me finally start paying attention to BTS? Well, that's a funny story, and isn't that kind of true for most of us? Well, one of my daughters got me into K drama, and I started watching a lot of K drama. And there was this one K drama that I really loved that was actually from a Japanese manga. So after I watched it in Korean, I watched it in Chinese, and then I watched it in Japanese. I think one other language. But anyway, when I was in the Japanese section of watching J dramas, I watched a show about some boys that were in a boy band. Honestly, I didn't really know anything about it, but it was just kind of a fun story and I liked watching it. And then I was really into it. And so I was watching on YouTube their clips from the show. So I'd watch their dance video or whatever this video is. And if you know anything about YouTube, it starts analyzing what you're watching. And then a clip came up, and I'm not sure if I just clicked on it because I was curious, or it just was the next video that came up and started playing. And it was Permission to Dance. But what you have to understand is I was a dance teacher for 20 years of my life and a theater teacher that also did big Broadway style musicals for 10 years of my life. That's 30 years of my almost 60-year life. I was totally into dance. And what I remember seeing of this video was, well, yes, they're all handsome. We know that. But what I really saw was they were excellent. They were so good at what they did. It just captivated me. And of course, the song was about permission to dance, which, sort of touched my life and my heart of how I grew up and who I related to and kind of a part of me. Also, I worked in the entertainment industry in Hollywood for a while. So I know what excellence is. I know what a good video is. I know what putting things together well is. And that's what I saw in this one introduction video to me, Permission to Dance. Hey, so what did I watch next? What did I watch next? Dynamite and Butter, probably because they were English and they were probably next in line. I mean, I was just kind of looking around. Okay, so when did I realize it was probably going to be more than just one song? When I clicked on the Kinetic Manifesto film, oh my word. In fact, whenever anybody asks, that's one of the first I share. You see, when I was in junior high, well, elementary school, junior high, and high school, I was in love with Michael Jackson. I actually got to see the Victory Tour and his Bad Tour. And I mean, that was so awesome. Even choreographed some dances like him. So when I saw that, I mean, I'm pretty sure I was just sold at that point in time. Would I have called myself Army back then? Probably not, because I wasn't educated enough yet. So what did I start watching when the rabbit hole began? Well, pretty much everything. Some lyric videos, a lot of lyric videos. I wanted to learn what they meant. A few run BTS episodes, not a lot, but a few. Lots of people's posts about how they were funny. And it was only 3 years, so by this time they weren't producing anything. I mean, I've only been Army for 3 years, and they weren't producing anything at this time. So I was watching what people were just keeping up on the internet. Definitely lots of dance videos and practice videos, and well, what other people said about them, what music coaches said about them. I just watched it all. I watched who is BTS and who are they and how do you learn about them and who is each one. I just started going down the rabbit hole. What surprised me most about the seven of them? Well, their humility, their willingness to be real, their funniness. I mean, they're so funny. Their pressure struggles, their insecurities, just them just being real. And I've always appreciated real people, and since I'd worked in Hollywood, I found this as a very refreshing thing. At some point, the question, why are people so crazy about BTS? And then I realized, oh, yeah, this is the thing. What did I hear in their music that, in their lyrics that mattered to me? Pressure, what people expect of you, depression, wanting to reach that next goal, and perseverance. Perseverance is a big one. Why did I connect with them? Well, a big thing was they helped me want to start to dream again. My life had been so mediocre for several years and or many years in different ways. And I think I had just given up on dreaming and I became kinder to myself. And I was able to set new goals that I haven't done in a long time. So, where did my faith fit into all this? Well, faith is the foundation of who I am in my life, and BTS didn't change that, but they helped me see in a new way life, a new way of life. And they reminded my heart to breathe again. So, when did I realize this wasn't just about BTS anymore? I started noticing their relationship with their fans and how the support went both ways. And I just found that so beautiful and unique. What was my first experience seeing a BTS member live? I got the opportunity to go see Jen last summer in Dallas. And I thought, I might not ever get to see BTS. And this opportunity came my way, and I thought, I'm going to take it. And I got tickets right away, so I was super excited about that. And it was sold out. What surprised me about the Jen concert? Well, just how respectful everyone was of each other and how they really cared for each other. And I just loved just seeing him laugh at himself and laugh at the army. And it just was a concert experience I'd never experienced before, right? Well, it wasn't just because of the concert, but I would say that Jin is my bias. And I've been around teenagers for, about 40 years being a teacher for high school and also a youth pastor's wife. And I've always just loved young people and kind of clinged onto them like a mom in so many ways. And I love hilarious people, and I know Jin's sense of humor is very simple and dad-like, but really that's my sense of humor too. So yes, he's worldwide handsome, but the hilarious part is he thinks that's funny too, and I love that whole aspect of him. Did becoming Army change how I saw myself? Yeah. I mean, I'm almost 60, and instead of backing off of life, I really feel like I've jumped into life more full, and I'm trying things that I'm scared of, and I'm doing new things, and I'm getting myself out there. I mean, here I am out there on a YouTube channel, right? So, how did I go from Army to starting BTS Prayer Army? Well, it progressed. One night I was on the toilet. Should I be telling you that? I was sitting on the toilet and I just started weeping. And I just started weeping deeply for these men who had such a beautiful life and had so much to give, but they still had struggles. And then I realized that their connection to Army, and Army has struggles and so much to give and are having hard times in life. And that's where this concept birthed, was through this weeping. I just wanted to reach out in a different way. I mean, Army, we reach out in different ways because we love BTS and we love Army. And I think my love for Army and my love for God and my love for BTS all came together. And eventually I came up with that title. And eventually I started a YouTube channel at 58 to encourage and love and pray for Army and BTS. And here I am, a year later. You get to see me for the first time. I mean, I just told you that I pray for Army too. And that's kind of where my motto, where faith and fandom meet. Bore and pray, put it all together. And I just want to use God's love inside of me to pray for those people I care about, even if I've never met them before. Would I be sharing myself online if BTS hadn't come into my life? Probably not. I mean, I already told you my progression of becoming braver wouldn't have happened without just pondering on them and their struggles and how they made it through to the other side, and that there's more to come. There's more to come in my life, and there's more to come in their lives and in Army's lives. So did this confidence just stay with inside BTS Prayer Army? No, actually in the last 2 years, I've really grown in a lot of ways and started a business and started things on my own outside of being a school teacher, and just really expanded by doing some things that I've been afraid of doing, standing up for myself and loving on myself more. So, did I ever imagine seeing BTS live when I first watched Permission to Dance? Of course not. I mean, I got to see Jin live, and then I didn't just go as a normal fan. I actually made freebies and handed them out, and that literally was 2 weeks after I had started my BTS prayer channel. I didn't hand out the freebies for the channel. I handed out the freebies because I was Army and I wanted to participate. And that was fun. And by the way, my freebies aren't finished yet because next weekend I'm going to go see BTS. Yes, I'm going to go see BTS next weekend live in Arlington, Texas. And I'm so excited. And I did make freebies for that too. I already told you who my bias is, but who's my bias breaker? Uh, Honestly, OT7. I mean, you watch one thing of one of them and then you go for that, and then you watch something of another one and you go for that. I mean, they're just so talented and just amazing. What are my top 3 BTS songs? Well, Permission to Dance on The Truth Be Told. And Spring Day, okay, that's 4. Because of lyrics and because of story and because of voices. I mean, and dance, of course, dance. What's one of my favorite BTS moments, performance? I would say definitely Butter on the Grammys. An amazing performance, so different even from the video. Don't get me talking about the Grammys. That's another time, not right now. So what did becoming ARMY actually change in me? More joy, more willingness to share myself in public, being even more transparent. What has it taught me about becoming older? Well, you're never too old to try something new. You're never too old to expand yourself, and don't just put yourself in a little ball, whatever. Don't just put yourself in a box. That's right. Don't put yourself in a box just because you're getting older. You have the freedom to become more of who you are. When I look back now, where do I see God in the story? Well, God knows me well enough to know how to make my heart come alive. And who knows that, or who knew that being a fan of BTS, being an ARMY with BTS, caring for BTS and loving BTS in the way that I have a capacity to do and that God has a capacity to through me, who knew? So that's how it happened. Somewhere between Permission to Dance, on looking up a lot of lyrics, watching a lot of time on YouTube and Facebook, I became ARMY. So now I want to hear your story. What was your first song? How did you become ARMY? What took you down the rabbit hole? And how can I pray for you? You can always just write prayer in the comments and I'll just lift you up in prayer. You don't even have to be specific, but I'll do that for you. Because that's what God is asking me to do. And I'm in love with ARMY and BTS and definitely God. And if you're somebody watching this thinking, I don't get BTS, I understand. I used to be just like you. But after this coming weekend and I get to see them in concert, maybe I'll just have to come back and tell you a little bit more.
I need. What you need, Twan? What you need? I need.